is Katie, and this is Classically Black Podcast,
where we talk all things classical music and being black in the profession.
with Florence Price playing in the background. Hey y'all. Welcome back.
Hey.
Why are you like this? Like, ugh.
Okay. What do you have to say for the intro? We don't plan the intro. It's literally just whatever we say.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now.
So sometimes it feels weird to just be like, Trap Beat's playing in the background. So when is this week?
Yeah.
Like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in recent news, your flight got canceled, so at least we get to do this.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, I feel like I was talking to somebody and they said they didn't know that we record from not sitting in the same room sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is good because we don't sound like we're far
At all.
away. Like, we sound like we're in the same room.
Mm-hmm. Trifling works over FaceTime, so.
Right, so.
Mainly from your end. But.
What?
I said mainly from your end.
Meanwhile, you got a robot arm to hold your mic because you too bougie to hold the mic.
I'm not going to be holding no mic.
Katie thinks she's the freaking Queen of Scotland or something.
Of Scotland?
Yep.
Scotland?
Yes, Scotland.
Well, because I don't want to hold my mic.
And among other things, but yes.
Among other things like what?
This is not what the show's about, but yes.
Among other things like what?
Like, among other things.
Like,
it's not about this. It's not what the show is about.
You see, because I feel like people know, like, that's not true.
It is, but okay. News this week.
Oh, thank God.
All right. And I chose a country that doesn't already have a queen. I mean, so you can take over and.
Because it's Jamaica. Jamaica doesn't have a queen. Not anymore.
I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, that would have made. I mean, the whole thing, the whole notion doesn't make sense, but it would have made a little bit more sense.
Well, can make sense out of nonsense. So.
Exactly.
Which are your actions that I'm trying to make sense of?
What is the freaking news? What is the news?
News this week, there's been appointed a new queen in
You're
Scotland.
trash. You're freaking trash.
Don't know how so. Okay. In news this week, actor Damon Gupton. Okay. Wow. He has been named the first ever principal guest conductor of the Cincinnati Pops.
Okay.
Right.
They found somebody. I was sitting.
Oh, I didn't know they was looking.
You know, I was
just about to say, I don't keep up with news, but I'm literally it's literally my whole job of the freaking show is to keep up with news.
I've been sending it to my people. I'm like, you gonna apply for this?
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Well,
yeah,
he's
I went right to Jonathan, but also like Pops. You know, Jonathan's supposed to be at least LSO if they can afford him.
Yeah.
Brownsville.
Right. So, he's I guess best known for playing a detective on the superhero TV series Black Lightning. Yeah, that's at first I was like, wait, like I know, but there's an interview with him here, like on the page that I'm gonna link in the description. And they said like one of the questions was like, so you've had this dual career most of your adult life. What came first, Hollywood or the concert stage? I was like, oh, so he do this. Yeah. Like apparently he said that initially he wanted to be like John Williams, like. He said that he did his undergrad in music at University of Michigan. Oh, right. Okay. I was like, oh, so he was doing this, like he went
right. Because at first I was like, oh, they found some famous person to.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
The Pops Orchestra.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I was like, oh, like he's like, you know. Mm-hmm. He said that he had an ex-girlfriend that went to Aspen, and she encouraged him to apply for their conductor program with David Zinman, and you know David Zinman is always up here at Eastman.
That dude.
Yeah, he comes to do a concert like every year. I think last year was the last year he's doing it.
Oh really?
So, yeah, he's probably like, I'm tired. Like,
because him and Renee Fleming be here every year. Yeah, and be like Renee Fleming. I'm like, wasn't she here last week?
She's here multiple times.
Like I was like,
so I'm like, don't that take away the effect? I mean, I never knew who she was.
Yeah, I mean, apparently she's that girl.
Yeah. But he was studying with David Zinman, and he said Zinman was serious about him, and then he had a fellowship with the League of American Orchestras, like right. He did a couple assistantships with orchestras, and then he went back to acting, and then like now he's doing both. I was like, you better come on, dual career,
right?
Okay, you being good. rocket scientist on the side.
Not smart enough to even approach that. Okay. Rocket science? Oh, you must think I'm Isaiah.
Okay. Well, meanwhile, he invented the rocket.
Right.
So.
Right. Low key.
Yeah, but so go check him out. He's gonna be conducting the Cincinnati Pops. He has a 3-year contract.
Okay.
Right. I was like, ooh.
Does the Cincinnati Pops play all year, or is it just like a Christmas type thing, and then some 4th of July joint, and then
no, they have some other concerts because his contract begins in September. He's conducting the John Williams soundtrack to Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, and that's going to be September 6th to 8th. It's also going to be projected on the big screen. I know you'll love that.
Oh, they love that. Sustainability at its finest.
Okay.
But in defense of Cincinnati, they're doing a lot.
Yeah.
They have a fellowship program,
mm-hmm.
a pretty robust one. They picking like 5 people at one time per year,
mm-hmm.
like
per year,
and they have alternates. Like they got a lot going on in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna lead 4 programs during the 2019-2020 season, which includes the New Year's Eve program, the annual Classical Roots concert, which is on March 6th, and a pop show with Bruce Hornsby, and the Noisemakers, which is on April 14th. Come on, you ever celebrate the anniversary?
Oh, I forgot. I kind of blocked that out.
Okay.
Okay, that was my title too, the Noisemaker.
He has conducted with the Pops 4 times since 2014.
Wasn't the subtitle at all?
Including a 2017 concert with Smokey Robinson. He's conducted a Pops 4 times since 2017, including a 2017 concert. I mean, since 2014. See, look at you.
Look at me doing what?
Look at you distracting me. You talked over me the whole time.
I'm asking you a question.
Including a 2017 concert with Smokey Robinson. I hope you know you're embarrassing yourself right now.
I'm trying to ask you a question. Like, I just want to know.
No.
Thank you. That's all you have to say. I mean, I disagree, but see, keep going.
That was it. Intermission.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Oh, well, congratulations. What's his name again? Wow. I don't remember.
Meanwhile, I literally had to scroll up to see.
Exactly.
Damon Gupton.
Okay, Gupton. What he look like?
Single for you.
Anyway, so the
remember he said ex-girlfriend was at Aspen.
I mean, he did.
Okay.
So life will be a mess.
No, he's old though. He's not old, but like he's like too old for you.
How old is he?
46. But you're of a particular age, remember?
I am of a particular age.
He's still particularly 20 years older than you.
Okay, so intermission this week. I was scrolling on Facebook, and I saw this post that one of my what does my mom say? One of my schoolmates from high school did, and it's kind of, you probably, once I describe it, like a lot of you would know what I'm talking about. So he said, like, a rapper that I think is overrated is way overrated. Wow. He said Biggie. A rapper that I think is underrated is Drake, but this is Dylan, not me, because I would never say Drake is underrated. Oh, wait, I read this wrong. He said that Drake is underrated.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I disagree. Oh, yeah, wait, no. I agree. Wait, not confused.
You read it correctly for sure.
Okay.
But you're saying you do think he's underrated? I don't think
no, even underrated. Even because I don't think he's underrated. I think the girls.
I think he's appropriately rated. Like, he's wildly famous.
But I take that back. I mean, I still agree people like to say stuff. Like, if someone said Drake was overrated, I would be like, I think you're just saying that just to say that he's, because everybody likes Drake.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I got confused for a second. A rapper he likes, the Baby. Rapper I secretly like, Jaden Smith. He said, does Lizzo count? Favorite rapper of all time, J. Cole. I agree with that. And then the GOAT, Jay-Z/Drake. So I took these and I put from him, and I put them for classical music, and I also I asked Delaney to pick another genre to do as well. So maybe let's start with the other genre with these same questions, and then we'll do classical last. Okay, so what genre did you pick?
So I've picked a sort of a joint, like just kind of 2 genres in one, but I picked soul/R&B.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang, I didn't put nobody. I forgot to put somebody from
Overrated.
Yeah. Okay, so I forgot to put somebody from overrated. We'll see if I circle back and remember someone. Just because we were talking about how it's hard to pick someone who's overrated in a genre. Because you said pick your favorite genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's my favorite genre, like odds are I like a lot of the popular people. Yeah. You know, so it's not like I'll be like, that person ain't even really that good. Like, you know.
For me, like I didn't pick rap, but if I did, like I think Nicki Minaj is overrated. Even then, I just don't like her. But maybe to say that she's, I can't think of a rapper that's overrated. Like a female rapper that's overrated. Yeah. Anyway, keep going. It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. I have no idea who will be overrated. But anyway, underrated, I put Jamie Foxx. I've been saying this for so freaking long. Like absolutely. Like me and my sister, we stand like Jamie Foxx is I feel like he's one of the most underrated artists, period. Because when you think about, I would agree with that. When you think about Jamie Foxx and like his career, like most people have their thing and then like they kind of branch out. Like Beyonce has been in a couple movies. When I see Beyonce act, I'm not like, this is terrible, I'm gonna throw up. But she's not a good actress.
She's not a good actress at all.
So okay. She's not a good actress. Like, but and you know that Beyonce's thing is performing. Yeah. But Jamie Foxx is a bunch of different things. He does them all very well. All well. Like, he's a comedian, he's a singer, he's a musician, he's an actor. Like, and he can do all of those things. Like so well. Like, can't tell me he's not a great actor. Like, have you seen Ray? Have you heard him sing? Like, he just, underrated all around. Artists I like, I put Usher. Mainly for his older stuff, because Confessions is one of my favorite albums of all time. Every song on Confessions goes like, artists I secretly like.
I'm nervous because you said that I would say something.
I wouldn't say that this is a secret. It is a person that is problematic. And I put Chris Brown.
See, you know what's interesting about Chris Brown? After that Rihanna thing and then several other things, right? Not as terrible as Rihanna, but like in the same circle, he bounced back, and I feel like not a lot of artists can say that they did that. Like Chris Brown, like, and he has a new song out called "No Guidance," like with Drake. I love that song. Like Chris Brown, he's terrible, but like,
and he was like a snow gorilla.
You hear that? You hear that, Garrett? Like, that was Delaney. Okay, run it back if you need to. I don't agree. I don't think he's fine. Like the girls, like, I do
not find Chris Brown attractive at all. And he's a crackhead now, so.
Oh, he smokes crack. He kind of looks it.
Well, I don't know if he smokes crack, but he does something, and it shows. So
yeah, whatever he's doing, it shows. But like, he's very interesting to me. But I don't mind Chris Brown.
As you know, I have no idea what Chris Brown has done since the Rihanna thing, because that was a little bit around the time where I just stopped listening to recent music. Mm-hmm. I do know because he came up. I know a couple things he did after that, because freaking Strip came out and I think he had 3 times like that album after. I think maybe the 2 albums after, I know. Also Chris Brown cranks out music, so
his albums be like 20 tracks and stuff like that. Also, like, I don't care for a lot of Chris Brown's music because they're all, like, sex tutorials.
See, before they weren't.
They weren't before.
Because I don't really know any Chris Brown songs that are like that. I'm talking about, like, early Chris Brown.
No, I love early Chris Brown. But now he seems like he kind of, like, now, I don't mind him. Like, No Guidance, you should listen to it. Like, it's about, like, he's talking about a girl, but it's like, you don't really need me. He's like, you got a bag and
that right.
Like you got a bag and now you wildin', like flaws and all. I love you, love them all. To me, you're perfect. Like it's a nice thing. I don't wanna play no games. Go around, give you my last name. No, you tired of the same damn thing. That's anything. You got it, girl. You got it. It's nice.
Okay. So, then for my fave, I put Mint Condition, who is my favorite band. Like an R&B, neo soul type of situation. Most of their popular songs are like from before I was born. And they're still like technically together, but like their lead singer is like, I mean, I'm proud of him because they did that show like Behind the Bands or something like that. And he gets like in their contract or whatever, like he gets paid the same amount as everyone, but he's the only person that's like, I get like, I don't know, I feel like you could put anybody behind him. You know, like not saying that y'all instruments, y'all ain't nothing, but he plays like 3 instruments in the band and is the lead singer. And like everyone else in the band is like, oh, this is our drummer, this is our pianist, this is our, you know, and not to say that they ain't nothing, but like at the same time, it's like you would think that he might get paid a little bit more than them because you pay, like he sometimes plays saxophone and sometimes playing guitar while he's singing and playing piano while he's singing, you know. But now he's like, nah, we all getting paid the same. But yeah, I might could give y'all a playlist if y'all want one for Mint Condition because I literally love Mint Condition. My mom took me to a Mint Condition concert when I was like 13, and I was everyone in there was like 50 plus. Like, and then of course my goat goes to Stevie Wonder because he's Stevie Wonder.
I mean, so. Yes, I agree with
your
that.
Your fave could never. So not even on their very best day if they were on steroids as well.
Wow, I forgot my favorite Stevie Wonder song, but it's the one. Shucks, what's on the Cosby Show? Talking about like, I'm gonna let you know something about February, January. He said a bunch of months in it. Hold on, it's gonna bother me. Give me a second. Okay, I got it. Like I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. Oh, I just called to say I love you. And I'm
the bottom of my heart.
It wasn't about months. It was about seasons. No New Year's Day.
Oh my gosh.
To celebrate. No chocolate covered candy hearts to give away.
I can relate to.
I just got chills like that. I'm gonna listen to it. I forgot about it.
Oh, he just has so many good songs. Like, you know, I don't have a heart. Like, well, I do. I actually have a big, like, I'm very sensitive when it comes to, like, watching movies. Like, I cry so easily.
Yeah, you cried.
I cried at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Like, like the drop. Like, I know it, like, most people, I know you didn't cry, but a lot of people cry when they see us.
I was mainly in shock.
When literally, as soon, I think it was about maybe 5-6 seconds into the preview, when they showed one of their faces, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and it was, like, tearing up already. Like,
I don't cry easily. I can't tell you the last movie I cried at.
I don't cry easily in real life, but when it comes to, like, watching things, like, it don't take much at all, really.
I mean, like, I
barely anything.
Richard said he doesn't cry at all, which is, like, weird to me. But I might have, like, a quarterly cry.
He be having, he got a,
Richard,
he have a pint of ice cream, and
I'm on a Richard. I know, listen, I got theories about Richard, okay? I feel like someone find his YouTube channel. I'm telling you, he got 800,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm telling you, he be crying like a baby. Like, listen.
Well, I was going with that, like, I mean, you're a romantic. I'm the exact opposite. But Steve,
I'm telling you, if your dude got you some flowers, you wouldn't be like, really? I'm a romantic.
I mean,
romantic.
I'd be like, thanks, but that would make me feel uncomfortable.
Really?
Yes.
That is so cute.
That would make me feel so uncomfortable.
It's so
like,
cute.
They grow out the ground. Like,
yeah, help me find Delaney a dude that's gonna give her some flowers and stuff.
Okay.
You got
like I said,
you got it.
I just want somebody that's gonna leave me alone when I want them to.
I'm telling you, remind me of Fran, even though I know you don't like her voice. She was like, we gonna have separate rooms. I was like, okay.
I would love that. No, but I was saying that Stevie Wonder, like, one of his songs is the only thing that has ever made me think about my wedding day. And that's Overjoyed.
I listened to that. You told me about that song.
I'm like, that's the only thing that has ever happened to me that can make me, like, picture a wedding day with me not in the audience. So.
Okay.
That and Sin When You're Loved, that would be my first dance. He would have no autonomy over. You can have the second dance song.
Yeah. So. Well, we have it archived here, so we can just play this back. Okay. So for my genre, I picked gospel. Okay, so a gospel artist I think that's overrated is Tina Campbell. Now, it's not to say that, like...
Hear that, God?
Not to say that, like, people love her, because I don't think people love her anymore. But that whole Trump fiasco and, like, all that stuff, and then people still, like... I still see her around. I'm just like...
Yuck.
You know, like, you freaking suck. Like, I just...
That whole... You were like... Someone was like, Mary, you were like...
Mary?
Erica
Campbell? Because I love it. I love everything about Erica Campbell. Like, every single thing. Her family, her life. Like, she's amazing. A gospel artist I think that's underrated is the Walls Group. They're like, they're siblings, and like, I know you don't like singing, but they sing down. It's insane. A gospel artist I like is Kiera Clark Sheard.
Hey, Kiki.
I freaking love her. Yeah. I love everything about her.
Freaking You Loved Me. That song will also bring me to tears.
Yeah. Like, she sings the song that one of the songs it's not her song, I found out later, but I forgot what it's called. I could pull it up for what. Like, there's a line in it that, like, you see the stars. You put the stars in the sky and you know them by name. Like, I just love her. I love her worship. I just love, and she has like an amazing personality. She got a little YouTube channel. I watch it sometimes. Not always, but she's super dope to me. A gospel artist I secretly like, I don't have one for this one because normally if you secretly like something, they're problematic. Mm-hmm. And the gospel artist that's problematic, I don't like.
Mm-hmm. So like, even Chris Brown is not secret to me. If it was secret, I would have said it.
Right. Like, Kim Burrell is like the gospel artist that's problematic comes to mind. I don't really care for Kim Burrell's music.
I love Have Faith in Me. That's the only song by Kim Burrell.
Like, and maybe there's a song that I'd like that's by Kim Burrell that I don't know that it's by Kim Burrell, but
she sucks. So.
I don't actively seek out Kim Burrell like I seek out other artists, and I update my gospel playlist pretty regularly, so I don't. There's not. Yeah, I'm super good on that.
That reminds me of what. Remember, did you see that on Crystal's story when they were like, "What's your guilty pleasure?" And she's like, "None of my pleasures spark guilt." I was like, ooh.
I love her too.
Right.
Oh my god. Favorite gospel artist of all time is Donnie McClurkin. His voice. Honorable mention goes to Fred Hammond.
I was just about to say Fred Hammond. For me, like, or Marvin Sapp. Oh my god, never would have made it.
The Blacks love labels would have made it. I mean, Donnie McClurkin and Fred Hammond have similar sounds to me, and I just love that sound, you know. So definitely that of all time. Now the GOAT of gospel music to me, like the freak Yolanda Adams. Like, I just don't. I mean, there are old heads in gospel, like the Clark sisters, whatever. But like the GOAT. Like, Yolanda Adams spans genres. Like, people will need a tribute and ask her to do it.
Right.
Freaking Aretha tribute was done by Yolanda Adams. That doesn't happen. Like, people know Erica Campbell can sing. People know Kiera Sheard can sing. What's my girl that did thing with Nicki Minaj? I like her too. I never mentioned her. Dang. Tasha Cobbs. Like, they can sing, but they've never been asked to do something else, you know, or not yet. But Yolanda Adams, like, frick the GOAT, period. Like, just the GOAT.
Period.
Okay, let's move on. So now we did that. Let's talk about classical composers. Here we go. Someone will get mad.
Right, so for my overrated composer, I put Mozart.
I almost put Mozart.
He's
overrated.
I wouldn't, like, I'm not trying to say he overrated, like, he sucks. No,
like, Mozart definitely doesn't suck.
Like,
I would fight for that. He doesn't suck.
Yeah, like, I don't mean it in that way. I'm just saying, I've said this multiple times on the show. My experience with Mozart, especially his orchestral music, has not been great. Like, I just feel like for you to be called boy genius, you could have put a little bit more elbow grease into this.
Also, he didn't write anything for you.
Nothing.
He didn't write anything exclusively for viola, but he had the viola in mind. Sinfonia Contraltana is one of my favorite concerti, and then he had some duos for violin and viola. Like, he wrote some stuff for us, but like, I think the people that think he's like a child prodigy out of the junk, I think.
And also, like, someone like overrated. Tchaikovsky or Brahms didn't write nothing for us, but their bass parts were like, they thought about them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, Mozart was like, well, we might could just pull some notes out of my head. Or he wrote a cello part and then tacked on, but I'm like, you can't write the parts the same, not the same instrument. So,
ooh,
cause I feel like people just think you could tack it on and like I get like the whole point of the bass is to double the cello line an octave lower, but also like you created an instrument that is the most like different from all the other ones. It's not even in the violin family, like
yeah.
So you're gonna have to. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going through. We should do back and forth.
You should do back and forth.
Yeah,
okay.
Since we're doing the same genre.
Okay, so a class composer that I think is overrated is Brahms.
Really? I thought he was one of your favorite. I guess he can be both.
And I don't really. Maybe I should be more clear. Like maybe not as a whole, but the violas stand Brahms because of those two sonatas.
Oh, meanwhile,
they weren't for us, and also he didn't even want to do it. He did it because his publisher told him that he could make more money. Also, Brahms, I find not so much in his orchestral stuff, but a lot of his like chamber music is just clunky to play as a viola player. Like it feels like it's not thought out well. Like I played that thing with Vina, and it's like this is freaking clunky. Like it's hard to play, and not even like I can't play this. It's hard. Like it's stuff is just awkward.
Yeah,
like stuff true. That like you like a violist wouldn't really do this. And then same thing with what else did I play? I played one of his chamber pieces. I can't remember which one. I'm drawing a blank. That doesn't help y'all, but it's same thing. I'm like, this feels weird. And then even some of the stuff in the viola sonatas, like when I played like the Vuitton's viola sonatas, like okay, this feel like it's challenging, but this feels good in my hand. Like when stuff don't feel good in my hand, like I have a problem with that. And like who's to say like sometimes Bach doesn't feel good in my hand, so I don't mean it like that.
But also that wasn't written for you.
That's another thing.
Yeah. Bach is incredibly ridiculous to play on bass.
I imagine
it's so stupid,
especially the majority of them suites is built with fifths in mind.
Right, I was just about to say cello's tuned in fifths. Like the fingerings, like handshake goes out the window. You crip walk in. Yeah,
freaking death drops and junk. Like, but I think
you gotta invert chords and stuff too.
Yeah, I bet. Like, because stuff just probably just doesn't work at all.
Literally don't. Like,
so, but I think the viola stand Brahms a little bit too much for stuff that he something that he didn't even do for us.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh.
And
no, I'm just kidding.
You do underrated already?
No, I haven't.
Okay, go ahead.
That surprises me. I can't really defend Brahms very much because I actually like know hardly anything that Brahms wrote. I know some of his third violin sonata, which goes. I know the first two movements of that, I think, and I know I've played Brahms 3. I don't remember any of it.
Now, mind you, it's not easy for me to say because that's why I said like specifically I think he's overrated as a violist. But I mean, I love his first symphony. I think it's like a masterpiece. I love 3 as well.
You skipped one.
No, I didn't.
You skipped one.
It's non-existent in my eyes.
Wow. Dang. But I know his the piano quintet. I know.
Oh yeah, the piano quintet. I mean that's amazing.
That goes. Yeah, but I hardly know anything that Brahms wrote, so I can't even hit for him.
And I'm not gonna lie, like there are some beautiful, like when I took an audition and I saw that was Brahms too, I was like, so I guess I'm not taking this. Like, wow. But there are some beautiful moments in Brahms too, but as a whole, it's just like a disappointment.
So for my underrated composer, I was trying to pick someone, and I decided to pick someone that I underrated, rather than I don't know if their reputation like have they been underrated, but I picked Rachmaninoff. Because I've like never thought nothing that, like I don't know, I just never did think about Rachmaninoff. I played his symphonic dances, and then I got to listen to him again recently. Like he did that, like he was in his bag with them dang symphonic dances. Like the wind lines in those are like so good. Like just the way that he writes them so that it's like the whole section is like one instrument. Like it's so cool.
I mean, I think to be fair, I think why you might have unrated Rachmaninoff is because he writes a lot of piano stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not really over there like that. Like, right. And also, I don't really enjoy listening to piano music.
I don't at all.
But what's that dude at Gateways during the opening? Let me see that. Okay, Damien Sneed on piano. He played it as well / Come Ye Disconsolate. How you say that word? Consulate. Okay, Katie. Master's degree. Arranged by Richard Smallwood. So already when I saw Richard Smallwood, I was like, okay, well, it's already up my alley. And he played that piano down, but it was already. So that was probably the first time in a long time that I've heard piano music. I'm like, this is freaking amazing. But also, it was like church music, so I was kind of, what's the word, biased towards it.
Right, twerking on the walls and stuff.
Huh?
Right, twerking on the walls
in
and
church.
Stuff. Yep.
In the house
they
of the
was
Lord.
doing all kind of stuff in church when I used to freaking rehearse there. Oh my God, I'd be like, we are at church parking lot, like, yo.
Oh, you mean like for a youth orchestra?
Yeah, but also for church.
Oh shit!
I mean, I don't remember much like much happening. Like people wasn't like wilding, but you know PKs and stuff. So. Okay, composer I like. I put Hindemith.
Oh, I didn't go underrated.
Oh, no, never mind. Forget it.
No. I was gonna say a composer that's underrated is Glinka. I mean, I don't really like Ruslan Ludmilla, but I think Glinka's underrated. But the one I picked is Samuel Coleridge Taylor. Like, I think he's underrated as a whole,
or just any black composer.
Because I feel like Florence Price, even though they still won't program her for whatever reason. Oh yeah, she's black. The fact that I just really enjoy playing his music. It's written well. It's exciting all the time. It's dynamic. Like, I think he's underrated. Okay, so now a classical composer that you like.
All right, well, I already accidentally said mine is Hindemith.
I don't mind Hindemith.
Yeah, Hindemith always grows on me.
Mm-hmm.
I never liked Hindemith in the beginning, and then I'm like, oh, okay, you might could be doing something.
Yeah, I wanted to learn a new sonata, and I almost picked, and I picked something else. But one of his, he championed the viola, so and it's some beautiful writing as well. It's not all.
Did you.
Sorry.
So did you.
Anyway, that's the truth. The composer that I like is, of course, Adolphus Hailstork. I stand him. Another composer that champions the viola, mainly because of his relationship with Beverly Kane Baker. I think a lot of his pieces are written for her, and also with her in mind, and she's also recorded a lot of his viola works. So I really
next.
Anyway, a classical composer that you secretly like.
Did I put anybody for this? Oh yeah, I did. You're not gonna know who it is, but we have talked about this before. There's a classical composer that I secretly like. It's not. I don't intentionally keep it a secret, but just it just is. I put Niels Boltman.
I've heard the name, but I don't know.
Oh, he's also like a viola composer. Like he composes all viola stuff. That's what I was talking about. That those 10 viola duets that I have.
Oh,
they're not even now. I mean, one of them is literally named Crazy Chicken Dance. So but
I'm good on that.
The 10 viola duets. He has an album called Troubadour Blue, which I bought. And it has 10 viola duets. They're very short. I think the longest one is maybe 3 minutes. A piece for solo viola, a suite for solo cello, and then a piece for viola and didgeridoo. You playing that on your next recital? Could you imagine? I freaking walk out there with a didgeridoo.
Like what? And God's willing, I'll never give him a recital.
What? You literally want to go to more school. You will give another recital.
All right.
Like what?
That Giants is stressful.
I'm determined to do this piece with you.
Who gonna play didgeridoo?
Me.
First of all, there's no way you're gonna make it through that.
How you know?
Now, Delaney. First of all, where the hell are you gonna get a didgeridoo?
The didgeridoo store?
All right, so
first of all, how you just gonna count me out like that? I thought you were passionate about my success.
On bass. And literally anything else.
Not didgeridoo?
No.
Wow. Meanwhile, that's my passion.
Okay.
Dang. Nah, okay.
A composer. Oh, God. Don't drag me. But a composer I secretly like.
Oh, I already know.
Is Strauss. Reichard. Now, even though he's... See, and this is why I feel like I'm added to the problem. Because people know Wagner is problematic, but still program him. I secretly like Strauss. I'm telling y'all my secrets. See how much I love y'all. Mainly because of Rosencavalier. Like, that piece
is lit.
Is amazing. Like, from start to finish. But that's probably most of. And I like Einheitenleben, and
I like Einheitenleben. Okay, so Einheitenleben. Because you messed me up. Because you say Heidenleben. So I try to say
is it? It's Heldenleben, right?
Yeah, Einheitenleben. And a lot of people don't say the Ein part. I do, but like I'm just got all kind of stuff floating in my head. Einheitenleben, I feel like sounds better to me as an excerpt, which is what I heard it for. Is what I heard it as first for the longest time, and I realized I had never heard the piece, and I listened to it. I was like, that's not what I was expecting.
I really like the piece.
I don't understand why
you can't really
everything has to be 2D. Like it doesn't. I promise it doesn't.
Why do you have to have like 4,000 subjects at once?
Like,
and don't nobody got the pulse.
Right.
That's exactly how Strauss writes. Like
the Rosencavalier was kind of hard to do with a certain someone conducting because
there's no downbeat or upbeat. Just
like you're just in a flurry of music all of a sudden. Like this almost feels like Debussy. Like
right, maybe Debussy's his favorite composer.
Right, so
and that would be on brand for him.
Could you imagine? Oh, I should have done that. I should have trolled y'all and be like, I secretly like Debussy.
I would have turned off the mic.
First of all, they would be like, you sound dumb because
Debussy's worse than Strauss is worse than Debussy because Debussy didn't kill people.
So. Oh yeah, I meant like because his music. Because I clown Debussy every episode, and people would be like, you just sound dumb because why would you do that if you just liked him? You could have just liked him.
Who Debussy wrote? No, see, even the stuff that I could like is by Ravel.
Right, Ravel's like Debussy light.
Yeah, and actually, yeah. Except, or is it heavy? Because there's downbeats.
Yeah, that's true. So. Yeah, Debussy heavy.
There's this one. Is that the boogie? Is that Debussy, right?
I literally couldn't sing you a single thing by Debussy. Maybe Claire de Lune.
I can barely sing that. I was looking. Oh, no, actually, I'm not gonna say that. I'll tell you after. I'm not gonna tell the world that.
I could sing one except from La Mer.
Oh, La Mer. Jasmine got emotional when I said it was trash. La Mer is not trash. I took it back. Like, La Mer is not trash. But I just don't like Debussy.
According to this world, trash and ocean go together, so.
Oh, true.
So, what makes
so
sense
technically it is trash. Or at least a trash holder. Plastic bottle holder. Nice.
We're back here.
It hasn't happened yet in the episode, so we're doing good.
What, alright, so you already said you're secretly like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it was Strauss. Okay, so for my fave, obviously we can just speed through this one.
Yeah, we got the same one.
Oh, okay.
My favorite composer of all time is Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, so. The GOAT.
Okay, so. Obviously, because I love Tchaikovsky, but I wouldn't call him the GOAT by far.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him the GOAT either.
Especially, like, freaking Jasmine. And who else was it inflicted with confusion? That said, was it Peyton? With Jasmine, who said that Tchaikovsky never reached his full potential.
But that's not even his fault.
It's not his fault. Because I feel like if Tchaikovsky, because I feel like Symphony's 5, I don't like 4. I don't hate all of 4. But
yeah, I've heard a lot of people say they don't like 4.
But I feel like 5 and 6 is where we started to kind of see him going there, especially like the second movement of 6. It's like, what the heck?
Let's not do it. I was about to start singing it.
Because if you start singing, I'm going to sing. But y'all stressed him out. He died early. Also, okay, was his opera a flop? Like, yes. But he wrote, like, so his Romeo and Juliet is the real Romeo and Juliet to me. Like, it's just, everything is, like, heartfelt and beautiful. But to be the GOAT, you also can't have everything be heartfelt and beautiful. Like, that's boring, right? So, and then who do you say, like, Beethoven? No. Like, I don't, like, to have a GOAT in classical music when everybody's building off of everybody else.
Yeah, that's true. So,
I mean, I guess that's all music.
Like Bach.
Maybe Bach could be the GOAT. But then if we're gonna talk about Bach, then we gotta go before Bach. People who inspired him. And then, I mean, if you want to say who the GOAT is, Hildegard. No. Okay, not no.
Just because somebody was inspired by you, don't mean that they did do it better than you.
That is true.
So,
I would not. I could never listen to Hildegard's music. It's too high and too whiny.
I'm super good.
But I understand what she did for classical music, or music, as it was called back then. Your face.
Like,
I could listen to Hildegard's stuff. It's freaking terrible. It's so freaking high.
Like, yeah, I feel like Yeah, they can't really be a GOAT, especially because like there are certain composers that like they were the GOAT of like this one aspect of like you perfected this or you set the standard for this, but like not for everything.
And also like okay, so
not for the whole genre.
Haydn championed the symphony, but then like look at Haydn's symphonies. Like you know what I'm saying? Like like you put a like people Haydn put a forte in something, the girls went nuts. Like imagine like how boring does your music have to be? People are already falling asleep at your concerts. That's why he did it.
Symphony, exactly. Like you literally have to write something specifically to wake people up.
And like you got to Symphony 94 and now it's exciting. Like that like like you know what I'm saying? Like but Haydn was one of the people who championed the symphony. So
I guess as they knew it then.
Yeah. You know, but people also didn't have running water,
right?
And now
the standards are pretty low.
You know, stuff always seems good to get better,
right?
Like when I guess like the first shower. I remember, I think it's like A Raisin in the Sun that play. Maybe it's Raisin in the Sun. They were like, there's a line that's like, "Oh, I want me a shower." Like, "Oh, you gonna buy me one of them shower things?" Okay. Like baths seem really really nice until people have showers.
Some people.
I mean, some people don't care about showers at all.
Leg wash, so. The first leg wash, some of y'all just had that. so
we're gonna move on.
They didn't.
Let us know.
Some people they were watching them before.
Let us know who your. Well,
I would keep going like you did to me earlier, but we already did that once, so let's not.
And also, we have a fight to catch, so
no, that's true.
That's why.
Well, I mean, no.
Okay. We are moving on. I'll probably put these on the IG. People can type in what they think. That'd be cute.
Oh, true.
Okay.
Come on, social media guru.
Okay, forgetting to post last week. Or 2 weeks ago. Okay, and we're moving on. All right, y'all. So we're moving on and we're talking about the Gateways Festival. That's my favorite part. I love Gateways, and we're going to do a recap of what we experienced this year and talk about some stuff or whatever, and yeah. All right. So for those of you who don't know, the Gateways Music Festival was founded by Armenta Adams Dumasani. Okay. She was a former professor of music, associate professor of music at the Eastman School of Music. She was a pianist. She's a pianist. And I'm struggling. It's late, okay? And yeah, she wanted to see what will happen if a bunch of black people got together playing music, and the rest is history. So it happens every other year. I'm not gonna get into that. I don't know what the word for that is. Biennially.
I think it's biennial, but y'all can tell if it's biannual or biennial.
It can't. Biannual has to be twice a year. It just has to.
I'm like 97% sure that biannual is twice a year. Biennial is every other year.
But you know what trips me up? Bi-weekly means every other week.
Oh my gosh. So what is twice a week? Is there a word for that or no?
Because that always like confused me. I'm pretty sure bi-weekly. Yeah, bi-weekly means every other week.
Biennial
so
is definitely every other year. I just Googled it.
Yeah, so you tell Richard think he know everything. I mean, he does, but like not everything. So yeah, it happens biennially.
Okay, this don't make no sense because I didn't want to pull over and do this. However, I just Googled bi-weekly and it says bi-weekly means either occurring every 2 weeks or occurring twice every week. It can't mean both.
It can't, but you know it's English, which doesn't make sense.
Right. So English is terrible. What a waste.
Okay. And people be like, just speak English when people like are whatever, and it's like English is freaking hard, and you don't even speak it well.
I think it's like the third hardest language to learn because there's so many irregular pronunciations, words that mean multiple things, just all kinds of stuff that don't make no sense.
And also with English, for every rule there's an exception. Like every single time I learned a grammar rule in English, excuse me, I remember learning an exception like that, like on the same day. And it's like French is not really like that. Like you learn the passé composé and like that's freaking it. Like there's literally nothing else to it. But yeah, point of this is Gateways happens every other year at Eastman. It's for classical musicians from that are from African descent. And we all get together and we play classical music and we have a black time. And the thing I love about gateways is that all the playing is at an incredibly high level. So this year, I was saying before the audio got trashed, that the orchestra was star-studded this year, especially in the wind section. And y'all know, like I like to have a good time. So, but every time there was a freaking wind solo, I had to try not to be ghetto, because like I even told Hassan, shout out to Black Excellence, last week, that I went up to him and I was like, I've been playing viola for a long time and I had never heard no oboe playing like that before in my entire life. Like I just haven't. And I was sitting for half the concert, I sat second desk, but for the other half I sat dead last, which means I was right in front of the oboe. And Titus is like making my edges like singe off. Like I couldn't, like and what's not fair is Jasmine was second oboe, so I'm not gonna ruin this for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like freaking ratchet, even though I wanted to be, because every time she would just fill in and support him, I'd be like, oh, okay. But I stay looking forward, because I know it's annoying for you to see people turning back. But yeah, Monica bassoon playing, like I'm like, wow. So yeah, it's just a lot of high. Everybody somebody professor, everybody somebody first flute, everybody somebody principal oboe. It's freaking in the brass, and this, I don't know, y'all. It's ridiculous. So we both participated in gateways in some effect. Wow. So we both participated in gateways in some way. So Delaney, you want to say what your role in gateways was this year?
Sure. So
Delaney.
Yes, you didn't even let me.
Because you act like I don't know you. I want you to tell me what your role in gateways was.
Great, got it. Heard you the first time.
No, I want you to make sure you understand me.
I understand you loud and clear.
I want you to tell the people what you did.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Roger that.
Okay. You get on my nerves.
All right, so we both know that.
Okay.
What my main role? I didn't even have a role in gateways. I was mainly a spectator. I was 100% a spectator. I didn't participate in the orchestra. I literally was a spectator. I was I had no affiliation with the festival, other than I knew people that were in it. So if y'all were doing something, I would just be hanging off like a skin tag.
See, okay.
I was the skin tag of the festival. That was my role.
Skin tags don't hang, by the way.
What do they do?
They sit on top. What kind of skin tags you got?
Okay, but no, I'm saying like they can't. That's why they're tags. They don't like hang like they floppy, but
yeah, like tag your it, like nice little gesture. It's like we're.
You know what skin tag is?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
It's a little bit of skin that sits on top of something.
No, but like when it hurts, like a piece of skin that's off.
Oh, you mean that kind of skin tag?
Yes.
Oh, the one between your this.
Nobody knows what you're saying. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all where she pointed to. Could you imagine how wide this is? She's talking about her
PG
like
podcast.
Her cuticle.
I was gonna say something ridiculous.
Like
you said what?
Your cuticle.
Oh, I think you said something else.
What?
Nothing.
Let's just get through this episode. Oh my goodness, we pull over for everything.
Everything.
Yeah, but like skin tag is like a piece of skin that may hang off your finger or something, and it's like you think you could take it off and it won't hurt, and then it's
I thought you said you were gonna keep going.
Extremely painful. I'm just explaining to them my role in the festival, which is what you asked me to do. So I was a skin tag of the festival. I did not participate like in the orchestra and playing at all, because it's a music festival for musicians who are good. So
right. Meanwhile, 300 people applied, and it took less than half of that.
Right, the best of the best, cream of the crop. You, Jasmine, Titus, Monica, Hassan.
First of all, do not put me in the same
Jason,
sentence as any of those
Jermaine, people. Caitlin.
Okay. Also, there were a lot of amazing violas that I noticed that weren't there this year. Like it's literally luck of the draw, except for the wins. Except for the wins.
It's literally not luck of the draw.
It's luck of the draw.
It's literally not. Because there are people that come every year. How is that luck of the draw?
The wins come every year. Strings,
Yes.
depends.
There's a couple. You know, I'm not gonna say that. Yeah. Yes. There are certain string players like Caitlyn. When they turn away, Caitlyn, Jen.
They ain't turning away.
But that's different. She's like on the board.
Jen's different.
Cremaine. Ifatayo. Like there's certain people that they're going to like. Yes, they'll be there every year.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Kentucky the festival. Long story short, I am letting it go. I'm moving on. Long story short, I was sitting at, I was there for the whole thing. Basically,
I flew out.
Basically, I saw everybody there. I was like, dang, all my friends are there having fun, being black, playing music. And I'm sitting here at work, so I'm going to go for the weekend. So I asked for the day off. I text my boss, asked for the day off. She calls me, so I'm like, oh, here we go. I don't know.
I'm telling you, like a call from your boss, like, I'd have felt special.
But I just didn't know. Like, I text her, asking for something, and then she called me. I'm like, oh my God, what this finna be? But she was like, oh my gosh, like, of course you can go to Gateways, and we're happy to pay for your flight and your hotel, which I turned down the hotel because I had already said I was gonna stay with Katie, and I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I don't have nowhere to stay, because I literally had somewhere to stay. So, yeah, but they flew me out, and she was like, oh, we'll be happy to pay you for the time that you're there, because they wanted me to talk to people and, you know, just get
Lenny out here, y'all.
all right.
You're not. You know who else was flew out? Garrett.
That's so different. Are you kidding?
Similar.
Y'all
both got on a plane to get here. Y'all both came from the
so
west.
did you.
Y'all both play instruments. No, I live in Rochester.
Barely. You did before. Girl. Anyway. Meanwhile, Garrett is literally moderating a panel and being a crusader, and I'm but a speck of lint in his dress.
Oh, okay. I you know what, y'all? I apologize because I made y'all have to deal with that. For that I am truly sorry. I should just edit it out. Keep going.
Please don't. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's what I was doing. I was basically like, I'm just glad that my job sees the value in hearing the voices of not just people of color, but black people, because there are people of color in my office that like barely, but like they're like 2, 3, and you know, there's some different backgrounds, like people who are like from another country, and but some people that are like first, maybe second, third generation, but they're not black people. So it's nice that they're like, yeah, go to this black event and talk to people that are in the field and bring us back some helpful information. So that's what I did. It took forever.
What took forever?
That whole explanation.
Yeah,
you had a problem with my role in the festival.
Anyway, so my role in the festival was I was a performer. I was a violist. I played viola. Anyway, so
cream of the crop.
So I was in a chamber group and I was in orchestra. This is typical. Overwhelming majority of musicians are going to be in orchestra and in chamber. They bring in extra musicians as well because there are people giving like chamber music recitals. You might only be playing chamber music. It just depends on what they assign, what they see fit. But the overwhelming majority of musicians, like I said, are in orchestra and chamber. So I had an amazing chamber group. Shout out to Patricia Reeves. Love her. And Lionel, who I just met. And we played some random Beethoven serenade I never heard. It was cute or whatever, for the most part. So that was a lot of fun. I really like working with them. Also, Patricia is like some upper echelon assistant principal of the Richmond Symphony. So like, she was gathering us, and but like in the most wonderful way. Like it was such a great experience. And then I was in orchestra, getting my edges snatched by all the amazing talent surrounding me. Like, I just love black people. Like it was just freaking ridiculous. Everybody is good. Everybody is amazing. So yeah, that's what I did in the festival. Whatever. So there was a lot of amazing things happening during the festival. One thing Lee Kuntz, who's the director of Gateways, did this year, is he wanted to make it feel more like a festival. A lot of the times, in the past, Gateways would be dark sometimes because everybody's in rehearsal. So what he did was program events to be happening. So a lot of the times, like we had rehearsals that would conflict with performances, just so that people in the community can be experiencing Gateways and not just having to go to the chamber music concerts and the final concert. So even though Delaney, you weren't performing, you were in there was a lot of other things going on that you got to experience as well. So let's talk about some of our highlights of the festival. Like there was some new things this year, like After Dark. There was a bunch of presentations. So let's get into that. What are some of your highlights? We can go back and forth for this as well because, like, why not?
One of my highlights was after the concert, they had this bread. It was
okay. Very good. I hate black people.
I'm
like
mad.
Y'all on this bread. Like you and Richard had a plate of bread.
Okay, first of all, y'all know I love bread, and I'm mad because Troy, the cellist, he was looking at me. He was like, "You butter on every piece of that bread, are you?" I was like, "Okay." First of all,
Troy.
I was like, "You did not have to come for my neck." Like, yes, I like bread and butter. It's not
Period,
weird.
poo.
Right. Now, but for real, the Florence Price Symphony at the end, was crazy. I'm like, y'all really have music like this, and y'all not playing it because she black? What the heck?
That symphony is incredible. Shout out to Eastman. Shout out to Gateways.
Anything
for
right? Sorry,
bringing no. Go ahead, because I'm about to say something terrible. So.
Okay, I was just gonna say anything that freaking Haydn wrote pales in comparison to that symphony.
Like
that one symphony, not even the other ones that she wrote, just that one. It was symphony number 3, by the way.
Shout out to Gateways for bringing black composers into Kodak Hall, because that's the only way it's gonna happen.
Ooh.
So I mean that's another conversation for another day, but let's just say Eastman dropped their rehearsal schedule for the fall, and it's pathetic. So good thing. I'm glad those chairs and those walls in the stage got to experience Florence Price and other black composers, Carlos Simon, because that's the only way it's gonna happen.
Right. So
RPO ain't playing it, so.
Right.
But sorry to cut you off, but I mean.
Yeah, that and Lift Every Voice was nice. It was one highlight was that he literally said the theme of Lift Every Voice is gonna come through a couple times before the actual full theme happens. So like, don't stand up until it's the full theme, because you're just gonna be looking ridiculous.
Crazy.
So when one lady hopped up when the first little thing came up, and then I think her pride wouldn't let her sit back down, so she was standing up for a good 15 minutes
looking dumb
by herself in this theater that seats 2,600 people. The only one standing up, so that was hilarious. And I'm also very, very surprised I did not cry. I almost got there.
It was playing. I actually really like that piece. First for the opening is like all tribal and stuff, and just seeing like so many people standing singing Lift Every Voice and singing with us playing it, and like I had chills. Like I had so much chills, and it's like where the place in which we are singing this piece, like this song, like it just was an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Vina for showing off.
You know, Vina had to show out. Like,
right.
Nobody asked for all that.
Right. We in the audience, meanwhile, you in full operatic like mode, right. Girl. I leaned over. I was like, show
off. Right. Doing a lot. One of my highlights was when Monica Ellis called me famous. It was a lie, but
meanwhile, no,
it's literally a lie. But I appreciated that. I appreciated that because it's more than her just joking around with me. It's the fact that like this is something different that I experience with black musicians in this field that I don't experience with others. So I met Monica on a whim in April. I went to one of her talks that she was doing here at Eastman, introduced myself. Delaney was with me. We introduced ourselves to her, and told her about our podcast. And I ran into her at dinner on the first night, and she was like, "Hey," and I was like, "I'm looking dumb," because I'm like, "Hey." She's like, "You don't remember me?" And I was like, "I do, but I didn't think you remember me." Like, "Girl, no, I was here in April. You don't remember?" And I was like, that just, in my experience, that this doesn't happen. And like, that's one of the things I love about gateways. Like, gateways honestly changed my life, and I know that sounds like dramatic, but it literally did, because when I first did my first gateways, I just finished my first year at Eastman, so I was doing whatever. I had a black teacher, so I felt okay, but this was my first time feeling at home in the classical music community. And it's stuff like that, it's interactions like that, like people always looking out for you and stuff like that, and remembering a face and being like, making you feel like so comfortable, and like ain't nobody better than nobody else. Like, she don't have to talk to me. Are you kidding? You know who you are? Like, Amani, like, you are that girl. Like, so that was definitely one of my highlights. Though small, I loved it. I'm trying to think of another highlight. Oh, Gateways After Dark was fun.
Oh,
I was only there for a little bit, but people don't only play classical music, so it was cool to see people getting up there and improvising, which, okay. Go ahead, y'all. Shout out to y'all who don't need sheet music.
I was about to say, when you was like, people don't only play classical music, I'm like, that's true, but I do. So
right. Like, that's all I do.
I mean, I'll play popular music if you give me the sheet music for it.
Right.
Like,
you got it out.
I played a couple tributes. Like, I just played the Aretha Franklin tribute. That was amazing. But they gave me the Aretha Franklin tribute suite for orchestra.
Like, see, they gave you the music. It was all written out, all nice.
Right.
Like, Caitlin got up there and dusted the girls. Like, got a standing ovation and like.
Right. With her lacy top on. We see you, Caitlin.
Listen, Caitlin had a dress on. I was like, who you looking like? Like, what
you say? Who you trying to walk past?
Right. I was like, who you trying to walk past? But yeah, Gateways After Dark. That was after hours. Gateways After Hours. I missed the party this year. Not really. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Like, cause I saw the pictures and it was lit, and it was like okay when I went. But I think what happened is I went, they didn't have no vegan options, so I left with you and Richard to go get food.
And that food was bomb.
It was worth.
I can't believe we didn't go there more often during the year.
Oh yeah, it was so good. We should. And then we came back, and then it was dead, and then it was over. But but definitely, like, every night at Gateways, people are downstairs in the lobby hanging out. So that's definitely one of my favorite things. Like, you kind of get to know people a little bit. People drinking, so they a little bit more relaxed, and like, it's that's one of my favorite parts too. Just mingling, like talking to people. I connected with Bert, Mason, trombone player. I've been wanting to talk to him since I saw him in LA, because he plays in the Met, and like, hey girl, I want to know what you like. What's that like? So that was cool, and like talking to other people. Talking to Jessica McJunkins. I haven't seen her. Shoot. No, I saw her at Sphinx. So yeah, that was cool too. I don't want to forget anything. I feel like, oh, you know what I loved?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I enjoyed seeing some of my kids at the Side by Side concert. They were like, Miss Brown, and then one of my students was like, "Oh, Miss Brown, I'm surprised you ain't copy me." I'm like, "You're literally 12," because she swears, that because every once in a while we have the same hairstyle, so she swears that I'd be copying her, and I'm like, one, if I were, that would be illegal, because how am I finding this out? How am I finding out that you're doing your hair in the morning? She'd be like, and she kept like turning around and looking at me, she's smiling and stuff, and like, it was really, really cute. And also, I like them seeing me in this way. Like, normally when they see me, I'm in front of them conducting, but like, I'm sitting in the orchestra with you, I'm playing. So that was actually a highlight.
Versatile.
Like, you sound crazy.
How do I sound crazy? It's literally versatile. Teaching, playing.
So Yeah, Gateways was fun. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. It always feels like I'm coming home. Like, so yeah. Any of the pieces at the concert or during any of the chamber music concerts, like, did anything stick out to you besides the ones you mentioned?
Besides, the freaking first piece by Carlos Simon, with the brass.
Amen.
When they was standing up, I was like, "Now hold up."
Wait, they were standing up?
Yeah, you didn't know? Oh, they're behind you. Yeah, they were standing up.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, they had, like, whenever they had a solo, they would stand up. The trombone started off standing up because they was doing that. Then you know that sound they can make.
Yeah. The brass in that piece go crazy. Like, yo, it is insane. Like, people have to check that piece out. I mean, honestly, are they gonna release recordings for Gateways? Do they normally?
Yeah, usually. I don't know about that because, like, how that's gonna work because he's a living composer. Like, I don't know. That's probably up to him. But they usually release recordings for some things. Also, that piece was originally written for, like, wind band, so you can find the wind band recording. It was my piece of the week last week, wasn't it?
I think so, girl. Maybe. Yeah.
No, because I did Black Excellence last week. Couldn't have been. It was your piece of the week, girl. I don't know. It was a piece of the week.
But you know what? Wasn't he? Oh, girl, I'm lost now. But I was gonna say, wasn't he? But on his website, we were on his website. Oh, for something else. But
Okay.
We were on his website, and it's on there. There's a recording of whatever school he commissioned that work for.
Yeah, I think it's University of Michigan.
But I love it how it sounds with orchestra.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's up to him. It's up to the discretion of Carlos and why am I blanking on his name? The conductor. What is his
Michael
name?
Morgan?
Yeah, it's up to it's them two who finna decide if they'll release that. But that piece went crazy. Piece that stood out to me, I'm trying to think what we even played besides the price. I ain't finna hold
Episodes.
you. I'm not finna hold you. I liked episodes a lot. And I'm so annoying. I went to Jasmine. I'm like, Jasmine, aren't you proud of me? I like episodes. Because, you know, there was definitely a couple times where it went big in a team. Definitely.
Okay.
But I thought it was really, really cool. And it kind of, it's by Ollie Wilson. And also, I'm familiar with the name and have a little place in my heart. He recently passed away for him because Mr. Taylor did the West Coast premiere of the Ollie Wilson Viola Concerto back sometime this year.
Oh, I think that was what he was over there for?
Yeah.
Right, they did mention his concerto.
Right. So,
you doing it?
Absolutely not. Ollie Wilson's freaking hard. Let's play Waltman soon, okay? And it's a lot, and there's stuff happening all over the place, but I think it's really cool. Like, I like new music when it's organized and has a beginning, middle, and end. Not a middle and beginning. So
okay. Or if you're Debussy, middle and end. Or just middle.
Yeah, how about to say
you're just all of a sudden you're just in the piece.
Delaney.
What?
At the opening thing. What's called? I was gonna say plenary, but this is not Sphinx. But whatever. The opening reception.
Mm-hmm.
Why they play a piece by Debussy? It was like, and the only thing, it was, what was it? Because I kind of blocked it out. Was it piano? Well, no, they wouldn't have harp and piano. That doesn't make sense. Oh, here I go. It was viola, harp, and flute. And the problem I have with Debussy's music, I think the more I don't like him, the more things I see what's wrong with him. All his stuff sound like you heard it before. Have you noticed that?
No, I don't listen to Debussy. I don't
Well,
put myself through that no more.
Well, I was forced to listen to him, so and I was at the front.
For your loss.
I was up at the front, so I had to act like I was paying attention. Cause when I saw Amadi get up there, I was like, "Oh, let me tuck this piece in my back pocket." And then it was Debussy, and I didn't even have to look at the program. I knew it was going to be Debussy. Only thing that saved that piece was the playing. Like Jacqueline, she was Black Excellence before, was on flute, freaking ridiculous. Like she's literally perfect. So there's no fault. But yeah. So do you have any major takeaways from Gateways?
Major takeaways. Kind of, I would say, I mean, I was mostly just like sitting and talking to people. So some major takeaways that I had based on the conversations that I had was just the importance of seeing, you know, Black people on stage playing classical music, because as some of you may know, if you've listened or read about Gateways, like, or listened to some of the WXXI interviews that they do every year, you'll know that like Lee, the director of the festival, said like Gateways is not a diversity initiative. Like, it's more about seeing these Black musicians on stage. So I asked a couple people about that, and that's something that I took away from pretty much every conversation I had, was like how important it was for them to see that. And like, I know you talked about like how after Gateways you felt, you know, at home, or you felt accepted by classical music community. I feel like that was something that I heard a lot. And then also about like how other people seeing Black musicians on stage sort of changes the perception of like what a Black person can be. So yeah.
For me, I definitely feel like I said before, like Gateways literally changed my life. So for me, like one thing I definitely wanted was, again, I said I wanted a mentor, and in a lot of other fields, like you'll ask somebody for a mentor, but it's like kind of weird in classical music. You know, like, people don't really do that. But like I went to the festival, I just did my thing, and I talked to people, and I walked away with like 3 people who like I can just text and ask them, hey, I need this. Can you listen to this? Can you whatever? And Gateways really gives me like a foundation. Like, it really holds me down. Like, I get to meet people who are invested in my future, people who are passionate about my success, and I just really haven't had that experience anywhere else, in any other capacity ever in classical music. So yeah, definitely for me, like Gateways, it feels like I'm coming home, and I love it like so much. And definitely how I feel in classical music, a lot of the friends that I have made in classical music have been attributed to my experience in Gateway. So definitely a huge thing for me. Also, I want to go back, honorable mention to the panel that Garrett moderated.
So upset I wasn't able to be there for that.
I forgot who was on the panel. I know it was Jen, Titus, Herb,
Jess, Rob Watt.
There's one more, right?
That's it.
I think
besides Rob Watt?
No. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Just some of the conversations I had, I was like, okay. Just a lot of matter of fact things. Like Titus was saying, like, don't make them feel like you can't be here because we've always been here. Basically stuff that we've said too, but like sometimes it's just nice to hear stuff from other people and said so eloquently.
Mm-hmm.
And then this idea, I think it was Garrett. It's probably Garrett. About how like white people have like this like allegiance they pledge to classical music because they feel like it's rooted in their culture, and like what is
that?
Like, okay, sis, but and how when they see other people, meanwhile when Asians participate, y'all say nothing. But I digress. When they see people of color, like Black people, participate in classical music, it's like we impinging upon their culture and blase, and I'm just like, girl, these raggedy little quarter notes, like, okay. And the thing is, like, I feel like Black people are so open. Well, I don't know, I don't want to speak for all Black people, but when white people try Black things, they're never confronted with as much hate as when it's the other way around. Like, I just don't understand. And maybe I'm biased because I'm a classical musician, but like when Iggy Azalea be trying to rap and when all the jazz faculty at Eastman are white, it's like no one says anything about that. But it's like when black people try to be in classical music, now we finding nooses in locker rooms. It doesn't. I don't understand.
I forgot about that, and how could I? And also here at swastikas all over the place. I forgot about that too.
Exactly, like swastikas are all over Eastman. Okay.
No, okay. We speaking hyperbole, but it was like 3.
Yeah, it happened like. But yeah, that was honorable mention. But I encourage all people of color to apply. I'm sorry, can't say that. I encourage all people of African descent to apply to the Gateways Music Festival. It happens by
Biennial.
And I know, like, I was talking to a friend and they were like, well, I don't know, because like a lot of people are locked in stone, so like it's no guarantee that I'm gonna be there. I'm like, okay, certain people, like, is Herb going anywhere? Like, no, absolutely not, girl. Like,
could you imagine they don't let him in? He literally lives in Rochester. That's his home stage. He
lives
RPO.
in Rochester, right? He plays in RPO and he's on the board for Gateways. There's literally no part of that would make sense. However, people take opportunities. I mean, a lot of black people, like, they kind of just like clear off that first 2 weeks of August because they know Gateways is gonna be there.
Exactly.
But still, it's like you never know. Someone might take another opportunity, so you should just apply. You never know. So yeah, that's all I got for Gateways, and we are moving on.
Right to Black Excellence.
Black Excellence, where we hype you up, gas you up, and give you your props, because there's room for everyone at the top. And this week we're talking about Tamar Green. Sorry.
I'm a freaking tune out.
Jamaica reach. All right. So Tamar Green is a first generation British Jamaican American. Yes, one of his parents is British, one of his parents is Jamaican.
So leave that last part, that last blemish off of his.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Rochester native, born and raised. Tamar is currently playing George Washington in Chicago's Hamilton. Before that, he was on the first national tour in the North American premiere of Love Never Dies, which is like a sequel to Phantom of the Opera. He also performed as the Crabman in Porgy and Bess at Spoleto. He was the quartet leader of the inaugural cast of After Midnight on the Norwegian Escape. Okay, international. He performed.
Got that in common.
Okay, so he performed alongside Vanessa Williams and Norm Lewis in the New York Philharmonic Orchestra's production of Showboat at Lincoln Center. And he also performed the role of Fisherman in the Broadway first national tour of the Gershwin's Porgy and Bess. So he be out here. He received his master's in music in performance and literature from the Eastman School of Music. And Meliora. He did his Meliora, ever better. Oh wow. And he has his undergraduate studies in piano and computer science. I didn't even know
all that. Dang.
And computer science. How y'all be so smart? I just don't understand. And double. Okay, I guess y'all. I had the pleasure of meeting Tamar when I went to go see Hamilton last month. I didn't even know he went to Eastman, because what happened, I was with Nikki. So what happened was Tahira like introduced us and was like, oh yeah, he's Jamaican. And then after that, like, it was a wrap after that. Like, there's nothing else you could say, like, oh, which part of Jamaica you from? Oh, da-da-da-da. Like, it was crazy. And then I found out after, like, oh, he freaking went to Eastman, like, got his master's degree from Eastman. Super humble, super great guy. He just did a takeover for Hamilton on their Instagram, but I'll link his website. You can read more about him. Like, those are highlights of his career, but he be out here. Like, he does a lot of piano playing. He teaches, like, just be popping. So I'll link his website, and I'll also link his social media so you can go take a look. And yeah, check him out. Super great guy. You have a piece of the week?
Sure do. So piece this week, randomly, I was in an Uber, which let me tell y'all, I'm almost done with that after I almost died on this Uber ride. It wasn't this one. But, side note, yeah, I literally almost died. Like, I was like, I just want to make it home alive. Like, that's it. But anyway, I was in this Uber in this fancy Tesla. It was like a 2018 Tesla. Have you seen those? Where, like, it don't have no handle. Like, I don't know how you put it. He opened the door for me, so I don't know, like, from the inside. So I don't know how you, but, like, there's no handle on it. It's like, I don't know. And it has, like, a full, like, iPad looking thing. Like, it has no dashboard controls at all.
At all?
At all. Nothing is up there.
No, I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen the one with the big old iPad in the middle, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, it has a big old iPad, and it like will show you if there are cars next to you and like all this stuff. Anyway,
or you could just drive.
Right. Anyway, he picked me up from Disney Hall, and I'm like, I wonder if did he turn classical music on because he knew he was picking me up from Disney Hall. But he had classical music on, and then I hear it's playing Finlandia.
Thank you so much for listening to Classically Black Podcast.
Wow. Y'all like
Finlandia?
Yeah, you don't like Finlandia?
No, at all.
It's just a little piece. It's like a memory. Like, cause I was like, oh, I remember playing Finlandia. Like, it's a very like friendly piece. Like, you know.
I guess it's okay. I have a funny story about Finlandia because I had a student named Corlista who was a bass player. And I just got to my new school and I was picking out music. And she's like, Miss Brown, what we finna play? And I was like, I don't know, I'm making copies now. She's like, I hope it ain't Raggedy Finlandia. And I was like, okay.
I mean, that brass chorale in the beginning is beautiful.
I mean, I haven't listened in a while, so I'll take a listen.
Neither have I. And like, I don't know, like, it's just a piece that I played a couple times, like in the very beginning of me actually playing like non-arrangements, like that sort of thing. It's very friendly for that type of thing. So I was like, oh, come on, little Finlandia. Like, I ain't heard this piece in years. So I thought that was really cute. It was a little blast from the past, but obviously I'm the only one.
I mean, I'll always revisit a piece before I'm for sure. I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, you got to do that with the Mendelssohn String Symphony too.
That's right, and I never did it, so I will do that. But
holding you to that.
You
I'm
said
literally
what?
not. I said holding you to that, and then I was like, I'm literally not. I genuinely don't
literally
care.
Forget the minute I turn these mics off. You will forget.
It also is not making any difference to me.
Like, but I've never really liked Finlandia. I'm not a huge Sibelius fan, but his
violin concerto goes.
Really?
Okay, the first movement of it goes. Are you kidding?
The first movement.
I'm not obsessed with it. It's not by far my favorite. That's the only other thing about Sibelius I know. I don't know any of his symphonies.
Okay, so which one? I'm trying to remember. His symphony number 1.
I played his beginning of the freaking violin concerto. Are you kidding? Ray Chin? No.
But his second movement of his first symphony is freaking like, it will make you weep. Like,
what do you like? Like,
I just told you what I liked.
That's it.
It be dum ba da 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 ba da da.
That don't sound good to me.
No, it's so good. I like his first symphony.
I'm mad. You gotta listen to Ray Chin play that. I'm very much I like this recording of this, and if I listen to another recording, I probably won't like it. So like, I listen to Ray Chin play the Sibelius Concerto, and that's it.
I just don't like that violin concerto at all.
What the heck? Nah, you're not really listening.
Like, at all.
You're not listening.
Like, I'll be so lost. I'll be like, hello.
Nah. I mean, granted, I haven't heard like it through and through, but the parts I have heard, I like very much.
Oh,
girl, what the heck?
I mean, you'll be surprised at stuff I don't like. I don't like Brahms' violin concerto.
I don't know what that sounds like. I've never heard it, or I probably heard it. It just wasn't memorable to me. I don't know very much by Brahms.
Like, who said it? Who defended Brahms to me today? Oh, freaking Vina talking about, well, people gas Brahms because they feel like they have to because he wasn't gassing when he was alive. And I'm like, girl, okay. I don't got a problem with Brahms. I do think I still stand by what I said. He's overrated. But anyway, thank you so much for Thank you so much for listening to Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Classically Black Podcast. If you have a piece of the week suggestion, Black excellence suggestion, intermission suggestion, maybe someone should suggest intermission that's like nice to Delaney. That'll be cute. Don't forget to send them to classicallyblackpodcast@gmail.com, and we will talk to you next week.
Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.